What's the word? My name is Darian Parker. If you're new here, this channel is basically just about my walk with Christ and what that looks like and how I'm doing it. So this video is gonna be a little different, not completely different, but it's gonna be different. You read the title: is 5 things to know before going to college. Now, genuinely, the things that I'm about to say, I wish I knew beforehand, and if I knew them beforehand, I think things would have been different. Granted, the path I took obviously what was meant for me, and God worked it out anyway. So let's get into it. The very first thing I would say that you need to know before going to college is making sure you're choosing the correct college. So after I graduated high school, I went straight to Michigan State. Now, granted, Michigan State is not a bad school. And I think the biggest thing for me was I didn't really care what college I went to. I knew I was going to get into Michigan State just because I just knew the requirements wasn't, strenuous. So I'm like, okay, once I get in, I'll just go there regardless. And that, I think that is such a big thing. And I think knowing what college you're going to and knowing what college you want to go to is important. But making sure it's the correct college is really what is the big thing I want to press here. It's like there are a million colleges in the world. Look into all of them. The second biggest thing I would say, which is honestly very important, the correct major. Let me tell you this now, you can go to college for literally anything. Like, you can go to college for anything. There are literally everything you see and everything that, like literally everything around you, from your bed to your TV to the music you listen to the food you make, all of that had to be made or processed or figured out how to make it. So there's somebody in that field that handles that type of material or that type of product or whatever the case may be. You can go to school to learn how to do it. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be college. There's other trade schools and stuff like that, of course, but that's still just another form of college, just higher learning. And so choosing the correct major is such a huge thing because you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life, and that's what majority of what your school is going to be catered towards. So making sure you choose the right major is such a huge thing. You can go to college for anything. So if you think like, maybe I want to do that, then go ahead and look it up. There's probably a program somewhere that has it. The third thing, the professor is only going to care as much as you do. Meaning, what you give out is what you're going to get. So if you are going to class and you're not asking questions, you're not talking with the professor, being engaged, they're not gonna be engaged with you. They're not about to go out of their way to make sure you learn, and they're not going to go out of their way to make sure you understand, and they're going to go out of the way to make sure you're doing okay. It's when you go to them is when they realize, oh, okay, this person is putting forth effort, so I will too. And I think that's the biggest difference for me from Michigan State to Full Sail. Like, at Michigan State, I didn't really care. I wasn't going to office hours. I wasn't talking with professors. I wasn't, making sure I understood what was going on. But now that I'm at Full Sail, I'm more engaged with the professors. I talk more. I ask more questions. And let me tell you this, bro. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you don't know something, you need to ask so you can learn. Number 4, making connections. I think I didn't do that as well at Michigan State when I was there. At Full Sail, I make connections now, of course, it's easier. But making connections is such a huge part because making connections is literally how you network. And that's the best way to get jobs, to see opportunities that probably wouldn't have came if you didn't go out of your way to make that connection. So after you make that connection, it's like, okay, bet now if something comes up, you can refer them, they can refer you, vice versa. Like, it's such a open line of connection that you wouldn't have if you never made that connection. If you never made that relationship, that rapport between each other, you would have never got the opportunity you had, or even you can give opportunity for somebody else. So just make connections is such a huge thing. It'll push you further than where you can be by yourself. The last one is one thing I want to push the most. You can start over. They don't talk about that a lot. They talk about, oh, go to college, get your degree, graduate. Then go to your field. Yeah, I did that. I graduated, and I don't want to do that no more. It was after I graduated when I realized, like, doing this for the rest of my life is actually impossible, and I won't be able to do it. I'll probably crash out. Like being real, I'll probably crash out if I kept trying to do kinesiology and I was gonna go to chiropractic college after that. Going into the medical field, you gotta have a passion for that, and I didn't have a true passion for it, and that's when I talked to God about it. Like, God, what I got, what I'm about to do, like what's your purpose for me? What's your plan for me? And that's my whole thing. Like, if you go to God to figure out your purpose, like going to God about all of these things, all five of these things, going to the correct college, what the correct major is, the relationship between your professors, the connections you will make, and the last one, it's okay to start over. You can literally start over whenever. There's never a time where you can be like, oh, I can't start over. And I think not only that, I've also had an example of that. My mom, she had three kids, and then she went back to school after we was all old enough. She got her bachelor's and then her master's, and it was just like time was gone. That's what my biggest thing she always told us. Time is going to go on regardless, so just do it. You can start over whenever. There's no type of time, or it's not. There's never a I'm too late, because it's really nothing to start over. And I think, a big misconception is that we don't talk about enough. Is like it's okay to start over. And me personally, me starting over with God, like that's a recipe for success for real. Like I don't see myself. Not even I don't see myself. I literally can't fail because I know this time I'm doing it with God. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like it's okay to start over. It's okay for you to finish college and be like, wow, no, this is not it, and start over. Like there's no time limit or time frame where it's like, oh, you can't start school, you can't do school now because you waited too long. There's no such thing as waiting too long. You can start over whenever you want with God, and He gonna help you through it wherever you at and however long it's gonna take. So that's my advice. The 5 things I think you should know before college, and please, like, comment, subscribe. And if you got any other advice, drop it. Let other people know. I think that's just, it's not so much, these are just 5 things I think you should know, but I'm pretty sure everybody got their own opinion and stuff about it. And I think, the more we help each other out, the better the world can be. So, spit knowledge and be helpful to everybody around you, man. And I appreciate y'all watching.